Good evening, everyone. Oh, off to a good start. I'm missing the main screen I usually have. Let me just sort that out quickly. How are we all tonight? Oh, bollocks. Really messed this up now. Oh, there we go. Well, that was a fantastic start. Can't see my face. Can't see anything. Maybe I should start this, the whole thing again, maybe? Maybe not. Give me just a sec. This is what happens when you do it live and you don't just record it as a normal video. Now you've lost my face again. Maybe that's a good thing. Alright, we should be up and running now. Apologies for that. So yeah, this is kind of, I don't know, like, this is part 2 of looking ahead. I'm not going to do a separate video because basically I don't have the time to do both, and I actually had pretty much everything sorted for this video until the Man City news that we got this afternoon, which kind of put a bit of a spanner in the works because it meant I'd have had to rework some of the images and rework some of the scripts and stuff, all the notes that I'd made. So I thought people probably want to discuss it live. So what I've done is I've kind of set up a few of the images that I created just to go over the blank and all the blank information that we already have, kind of players that I'm looking at bringing in, etc. But rather than do like a 20-minute video of that, I'm just going to rattle through that so that people at the start of the video have got that if they need it. And then after that, we'll go more into the kind of live chat kind of system that we usually use for live streams. So for the first couple of minutes, I'm probably not going to be looking at the chat as much as normal. But after that, it'll just be like a normal live stream. If that's cool with everyone, hope it is. So yes, news. Well, not news. But we now have everything confirmed, so we know who's going to blank. All the teams in orange are definitely going to blank in game week 28. So yeah, anyone you've got from those sides aren't going to play. So obviously the big ones there are Spurs, Chelsea, Man United and Arsenal. So Sanchez, Ibra, Kane, etc. are not going to play. And we'll come on to it in a sec, but some of them aren't going to play this week either. Now, Man City and Stoke were originally in green because Man City drew their FA Cup game with Huddersfield, so we didn't know if they were going to blank. But we've had news today which basically says if Man City beat Huddersfield, which is after game week 26, so they play it just before game week 27, their match with Stoke will be put into game week 27 as well. So basically, if Man City beat Huddersfield, them and Stoke will have a double game week in game week 27, which is pretty big news because we don't tend to get double game weeks this early on. But obviously, yeah, so the other teams are definitely not playing in 28. We already know that. And then we've got a list of players that are blanking twice, or a list of teams that are blanking twice. So obviously, Man City will go on that list if they beat Huddersfield. We already know that Southampton, Man United and Arsenal are already on that list. So the biggest questions I suppose people have had so far up to this point is, should you get rid of Sanchez and Ibra? And I'd already decided, like, Ibra was a keep for me because of Bournemouth at home in game week 27. He was the obvious captain. But City have got a double game week. There's no way I'm not captaining someone from Man City. Don't know who it's going to be yet. Suddenly Aguero is back in our thinking, which is really interesting, I think. But suddenly I think Ibra might be able to go. Now for my team, I probably won't do it this week because if you bring if Man City win in the FA Cup, then obviously they're not going to play in 26 anyway, so you might as well wait and do it next week. But Sanchez, I think at this point, there's so many other options. I think you can safely get rid of him without any issues. And we're probably looking at Man City are going to beat Huddersfield, I think. It's at home. It would be very surprising if they went out. So I think we can almost kind of start planning for 26, 27 and 28, and 27 as the double game week. But yeah, so the biggest questions, yes, you can get rid of Sanchez. There's now Liverpool mids in the mix because they're not going to blank. So there's a lot to think about, really. And then the only kind of last thing I want to show before we get into kind of the more live stream and chat version of this video is who to consider from the team. So I'm not going to go into stats for each player because there's 8 teams that aren't blanking in 26 or 28. It's a lot of players to go through. But I'm just going to have a quick look at them plus their fixtures to see who we should be looking at, essentially. So starting up with Liverpool, obviously until Burnley lost in the FA Cup, we didn't, because the other 6 teams, apart from Liverpool and Burnley, we've known for a few weeks now that they weren't going to blank. But we didn't know Liverpool and Burnley until this week. or the week just gone. So all of a sudden their players are now options. Now I've put Klein on there just kind of out of courtesy of having a defender in there. I don't think he's probably worth 5.8 million. I think most of us have like Alonso or a Chelsea defender. And then we're looking at players like Coleman to bring in. So Klein probably doesn't fit in. But a midfielder almost certainly does, especially if we're all holding Sanchez. So my pick of the bunch is probably Mane, closely followed by Firmino. And then Coutinho is probably in third. That's just my opinion. So I'll be looking at bringing in Mane for Sanchez this week. And then moving on to Burnley. Again, I've put them on there because they don't blank. But most of us already own Heaton. And at 5.1, I don't think we're bringing him in. Brady could be an option, but Burnley's next 4 fixtures are all away. They don't play particularly well away from home. And I just think there's better options than Brady at 5.5. Barnes is an interesting one at 4.5 million. If you've got a cheap third forward, you might want to swap to someone like him if you're struggling to cover the blanks. But again, Burnley wouldn't be doing it for me at the moment. I look at their fixtures and, like I said, 4 away fixtures followed by Spurs at home. It's not ideal. And then it's very similar with Bournemouth. I've kind of put 2 players on there, but I don't think I'd be looking at either. So their fixtures, West Brom and Man United away. Then West Ham and Swansea at home is okay. That's in 28 and 29. But then it's another 2 away fixtures plus Chelsea at home and Spurs away. So I'm not looking at Bournemouth at all. I think in defence they're not keeping clean sheets. Daniels is attacking, but how attacking is he? Is he going to be enough in those away fixtures? He could be on penalties though. That's the only thing to consider. With Wilson out injured and Stanislav's not able to get into the team right now, Daniels could be on penalties. And Josh King, I like him because he's out of position midfield. Like he's a midfielder in FPL, but he's out of position because he's playing up front. But rotation at Bournemouth is a bit of a nightmare. And when you're bringing in players to cover blanks, you don't want rotation worries. So I'd probably ignore him. And then West Ham, again, it's mostly midfielders. So Antonio, Lanzini, Snodgrass. I think they're actually pretty close in terms of stats and who's the best option. Snodgrass has actually quite impressed me. He's already created, I think it was seven chances in 2 and a bit games, playing more centrally. So he's a nice price for 5.8. My favourite is still Antonio. He gets into the box more, he has the most shots, and he's still creating chances as well. So he's probably my favourite choice. But obviously, if money's a bit tight, then I like Snodgrass too. And even Lanzini is playing well, so it's kind of take your pick with West Ham mids. And then Carroll is probably my favourite cheap non-blanking striker. The problem with him is he's injured and the news still doesn't look good for this week as whether he's going to play. So whether we want to be bringing in injury prone players, I'm not really sure, but he's one to have a look at anyway. And finally, before we move on to the good stuff, Everton, who I think everyone's kind of already got their players. Lukaku is definitely the key man there. Barkley 7.1. He's an option midfield. I don't particularly like Barkley. He kind of always annoys me when he's in my team. But you can't knock his point scoring. He's been quite consistent and his stats are good as well. So if you need to bring in a cheap midfielder, 7.1 is a good price. And then defence, obviously Coleman seems to be the key. He's the most attacking. If they switch to 3-5-2 in any games or start any games in 3-5-2, he's probably the one you want. I haven't put Baines up there because he's only 0.2 less than Coleman. So I think in most cases we can probably stretch to Coleman. And if you do need the cheaper defender, Funes Mori is probably the one to get at 4.7. He looks nailed on. I don't think he's scored yet this season, but he scored a few last season, so hopefully he can find that goal scoring form soon. But Everton's fixtures are great. They got Sunderland, West Brom, Hull at home in the next 4. And then it's Liverpool away and Man United away, which is a bit annoying. But then it's Leicester and Burnley at home. So Lukaku's probably in for a little while for me. We'll have to see kind of what happens with the other big strikers. But 9.9 million, I think he's a good option. And then West Brom, they're an interesting one because, again, I expect most of us have already got the players we want from that team. Rondon, for me, is not an option, really. McCauley and Brandt are probably the best defenders, but after Crystal Palace and Bournemouth at home, which are the next 2 fixtures, the fixtures go south really quick. And I'd actually be looking to offload, so I think there's probably better options than bringing them in now. But of course, if you've already got them, then just keep them because they're not going to blank over the next few fixtures. Hull are a team I really like, but I don't think I'm going to have enough spare transfers in the next couple of weeks to bring them in. So I've already made a video, so part 1 to this video, I spoke about Jakupovic and Heaton and how I think Jakupovic will actually outscore Heaton over the next, well, until the end of the season probably. It's just whether or not you want to spend that transfer. But if you need a goalkeeper, 4.1, really good option. And then defence, Robertson or Maguire are the main choices. Robertson absolutely nailed on at 4.3. Maguire probably nailed on for now. They do have Dawson and Curtis to come back, so we'll see what happens when they come back. But I think Maguire will be okay for now. And then lastly, sorry, I'm rushing through this a bit, but lastly, Swansea. So if you've watched any of my recent videos, you know I've got Mawson, big fan after he scored and kept a clean sheet in the last game. But we've kind of forgotten that Olsen did the same thing. The only thing he didn't do was get 3 bonus points. He only got 2, so he still scored 14 points. Now, I haven't checked the stats for those two, but from the eye test, I was quite impressed with Olsen. He kept getting quite far forward. Out of the 2 fullbacks, it was the left side that was seeing more of the action. So he's quite impressive. Now, Mawson, the good thing about him is he's got Sigurdsson aiming at him, who is just a specialist at free kicks and corners, etc. So, I don't know. I've got Mawson now, so obviously I'm going to stick with him. But if I was bringing someone in now, I'd definitely take a look at Olsen. I wouldn't automatically go for Mawson. And obviously Sigurdsson's there, obvious pick. He's just like Lukaku for me. He's an absolute must over this period. But he is playing Chelsea this week, so if you haven't already got him and you're like getting rid of Sanchez or someone like that, then you probably want to look at a Liverpool midfielder instead. And then Tom Carroll last on the list. Really, he's in there because if you want to switch to like a 3-4-3 and go back to a cheap midfielder, then at 4.2 million, that's quite viable. He seems to be nailed on, and he does get forward a little bit. He's not going to score you points every week, but as a 5th midfielder bench fodder who can come on when needed, he could be an option. So that's kind of a really quick overview of the 26 and 28 blanks, who's blanking, and who you should be looking at. But we're going to move into just the live stream now because we have to discuss Man City, and I just want to chat to the chat, really. So I'm just going to put on the main. Boom. There we go. I can relax now. I felt like I had to do that, like, I don't know, super serious or something. How are we all doing? How are we liking the news? Do we like this double game week news? We got it, right? I mean, yes, it throws a spanner in the works, but surely we love the fact there's a double game week coming up soon. I do. No, I'm a big fan of double game weeks. I think Aguero triple captain. There's 2 polls, or at least there should be, on the stream. I think one is, are you now going to get rid of Ibra? And one is, are you going to triple captain Aguero? I think we're going to see a lot of that. TM is, hang on, sorry. You're scared, illusions. Yeah, so a few of you loving it and a few of you not loving it so much. So yeah, I kind of quickly explained it in that kind of preview then, but yes, if Man City beat Huddersfield, they will have a double game week in 27, which will be, is it Stoke away? God, I can't remember. I should know this, shouldn't I? Stoke away and Sunderland at home, I think. So we'll look. Oh no, Sunderland away and Stoke at home, sorry. What's up, Trevor? So yeah, it's a bit crazy, but one thing I kind of, and maybe it's easy to forget the bad ones, but my memories for double game weeks are generally pretty good, and even for small double game weeks like this, I've always found it's worth jumping on. Especially when it's Man City, but like even in smaller ones before, it was like QPR, and you had Charlie Austin, and people were like, well, it's just QPR double game week, but he scored, I think, 2 or 3 goals in that game week. So it's really good fixture. I can see why people aren't liking it, because suddenly all the planning goes out the window. And the other thing is, obviously, any teams that have already got these Man City players that are like dead teams with Aguero captain or whatever, they're gonna really benefit from this. I'm not slating QPR. I'm just saying that a lot of people treated that double game week as almost a nothing game because it was QPR, whereas in fact it worked out really well. Okay, what am I thinking? What I will say is I've done training all day at work today. I suddenly saw a tweet at like 5:30, I think it was, and I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do now? got this video to do tonight. I was like, should I live stream? So I thought, yes, I've come home and I've barely had a look. I've had a quick look. So, if anyone saw the Scoutcast, you would have seen my transfers were probably going to be Sanchez and Mkhitaryan out for Firmino and Mane, and then possibly Amat out for Coleman. But now I'm thinking Sanchez and Amat out for Mane and Coleman, which covers me for this week. It means I can play 4-4-2. And then Mkhitaryan next week. It'll possibly be... Yeah, a 4-point hit next week. So it'll be I'll show you now. Let me just show you. It'll probably be easier. So this week... Yeah, Mkhitaryan's injured, yeah. Well, he's gone off injured. Looks like it could be a hamstring, but we don't have any further news at this point, so we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, he was going anyway. The injury just helps, I suppose. He did go off quite early. I think Rashford came on for him. So let's have a look at this. Oh, I'm lost now. I'm all over the place. Oh yeah, Mane. Mane. I was really liking the idea of a Liverpool double-up, but I just don't think I can justify it now. I don't really want to take Ali out for like Sterling or Sané when they're both going to miss that game in 28. It's a bit of a nightmare. Oh, let me turn the phone off a sec. Yeah, so Mane and Coleman in this week, and then I'm looking at Mkhitaryan out, and Ibra. Absolutely hating the fact of having to take Ibra out, but I think I have to for Aguero. And like I've been without Aguero since game week 13, I think, maybe 16, and it's been scary at times, but it's not been too bad. But now that Jesus is injured, and once we'll be able to see the Huddersfield lineup, the lineup for Man City against Huddersfield before. We have to make our transfer decisions next week, but if Aguero doesn't play in that Huddersfield game, then I think it's almost certain, surely, that he plays the 2 Premier League games. Well, with Pep, I know anything could happen, but the league is pretty important, League and Champions League. So I'm not going to risk, I don't think, going out without Aguero. I think that's a gamble, probably not to do it. So yeah, Mane and Coleman in this week, and then Aguero and Sterling. I really like Sané. When I thought this double game week was going to be later in the season, I was looking at Sané and Sterling. But I don't think I can really not justify it, but do it. Like I don't have enough to do it for Phillips, so yeah, I don't think it's an option. But Aguero and Sterling, and then obviously in game week 28, those two are going to miss out. So is Ali. Maybe I'll swap him then, and then I'll probably swap Aguero back for Ibra. Potentially. So I know people are saying in the chat, right, that I should leave Ibra and get rid of Lukaku, but Lukaku doesn't blank and he has such good fixtures. I think Ibra has to go because Ibra was staying for game week 27 captaincy. He now won't be my captain. And I want Man United players for that game, but I think it's more important to have a City captain, right? I don't really want to captain Sterling if I can captain Aguero. Now, triple captain's a whole different story. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it. I'll have to do a bit more research, or maybe ask our good friend Ben Krellin kind of what the chances are of certain combinations of games going ahead, because you're not going to get much better than Sunderland at home and Stoke away. And obviously, I've already got Crouch, which is just turned out brilliantly. Hopefully he starts both games. So he's going to have Middlesbrough at home and Man City away, which would be awesome. Well, could be better than Man City away, but I'll take a double game week for someone I've already got on my team. So potentially 3 double game week players. I will be tempted by Sané, or possibly even Holebas out for Stones. I do like going big on double game weeks, but I'm pretty happy with 3, I think. Maybe Pickford to Grant, I don't know. But what are you guys thinking, like, in terms of how many players you have? Surely triple captain Sergio is too ballsy. It is a bit, yeah. I think in previous seasons you would have done it and you wouldn't have worried about if he was going to play or not. You would have just played, but obviously you've got to worry a little bit now that he's not going to play. Certainly. What if there's a triple game week towards the end of the season? That is true. Either triple game week would be brilliant. I suppose Triple Captain always sounds probably a bit better than it actually is. Because we've got to remember it's basically one extra captain, or one extra score from your captain. So maybe it is a bit risky to do it on someone that's potentially going to miss the game. We could save it for later on. I just don't want to save it and then actually there was nothing better. I think Aguero, obviously he hasn't helped us by scoring. I think it was a brace, wasn't it, against Monaco? So that hasn't helped really, because suddenly he's back in our thinking even more. Yeah, I've seen a few people have got like Peters and Grant. That's really good. Super handy. Loading up for this double game week spells danger for game week 28 when they don't play. Yeah, I haven't actually considered that much. So in 28 I'll have Heaton to play, Coleman, Brunt, Mawson, and I'll have another transfer so I can get rid of Holobas for another one. So that's 4. And then I got Mane, Phillips and Sigurdsson. That's 3. Lukaku is... Oh Jesus, that is bad maths. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with Lukaku, and then don't know really. I guess I'll just make. Or maybe I'll go with 10 players. Don't know. Maybe take a hit. But I can bench Aguero, Sterling, and Alonso. I think are the key ones. Maybe get Crouch out for Ashley Barnes after he scored his hat trick in the double game week. How's it going, Trevor? Yeah, you have to keep players like Peters now. There's absolutely no reason to get rid. I mean, the thing to think about when it comes to doing like kind of Ibra to Aguero switch and then benching Aguero in 28 is you would have probably benched Ibra in 28 anyway. I don't think you're making a transfer on that that position because there's not really anyone else to go with apart from Lukaku, because Kane's going to blank and Costa's going to blank too. So afterwards, I must admit Aguero's fixtures aren't great. They really get better in game week 32. I'll be pretty tempted to offload him, although you probably want to give him Liverpool at home. But I'm happy with hits. I've had so much benefit from double game weeks in the past that I'm willing to give him a chance. I'd rather be in for the lottery than out, I guess, is the way to look at it. But it's a gamble either way. If you don't take the hits and you go with less players, then that's fine as long as they don't go crazy. I think the blank does hurt us a bit. It's a much easier decision if Aguero and Sterling play in 28. Imagine if Huddersfield win. Well, if Huddersfield win, then we just don't bring them in. Well, actually, arguably, Huddersfield winning actually makes it an easy decision. Now, I probably wouldn't do Ibra to Aguero, but if Huddersfield win, then that means Sterling, for example, has Sunderland away and Stoke at home in the next 2 games and isn't blanking. I'd be really, really considering him. So for my team, I can bring in Mane and Coleman and leave Mkhitaryan on the bench without really hurting my team too much. And I can make that midfield decision next week, so I guess either way I'm bringing in Sterling. I think if Huddersfield win, it just makes it a bit more boring. I think double game weeks are fun. They're chaotic, they can really cause headaches, and I know they can be super annoying, but when your player just hits like a goal in each game, or like a what's it called, double figure haul in both games, just seeing like 20 points on the board is brilliant. The more you hit in, the more you need to hit out. Potentially, but you can bench 3 outfield players. In game week 28, there's already not a great deal of players to have. Well, I don't know about the money situation. Yeah, I think I can do it. So my game week 28 transfer could be Firmino in, for example, against Burnley, and get rid of Sterling, and then do Aguero to Ibra the week after. I don't know. There's options there. Yeah, John Stones. We can honestly, if we knew about this this further in advance, I didn't have to take so many hits. Like I'm happy to take hits, but I don't want to go too overboard. John Stones at 4.7. I think I'd definitely consider him. Yeah, I consider him. When is the game between Huddersfield and City? It is after game week 26 and before 27. 1st of March. So not too long. Cheers, Malik, you legend. Burnt by John Stones this season. You hate him now. Yeah, I got to obviously try and not be too stubborn with players, and that is hard because I'm quite stubborn with players like Costa. But yeah, see, I like John's attitude. You have to be excited by this. He says it was getting dull. We were all getting Sigurdsson, Brunt, Antonio, etc. I think he makes a good point. Hey, Mister, we're just basically discussing that. I think it'd be a brave man not to go with Aguero. Sterling is probably the safest pick. Midfield. Sané I also like, but I think because they're such similar prices, I'd probably go for Sterling. But both of them could do really well. I do like Sané though. I feel like I should do it because I've been thinking about him, bringing him in so much. And then if you've already got Stoke players, that's great. I don't know if I'd be bringing in Stoke players unless they fit in with your plans, because don't forget, we've also got a bunch of blanks in game week 28, so you've got to be careful. But for Man City, I think Aguero and Sterling are probably the biggest. Or best, I should say. That's the thing, Fozzie, like, you take 8 to 12 points worth of hits to get them in and back out. Will they repay it? Possibly. If they don't, then it's a gamble you've taken, I suppose. I mean, I suppose one way to look at it sometimes is what will you be more annoyed about? If you bring them in and they blank, or if you don't bring them in and they go mad and you've saved a couple of points hits? For me, I'd always rather be in, like I said earlier, in the lottery than not. You know, have a ticket, I suppose. David Silva, not for me, I don't think. No, City aren't playing this game week. They're still going to blank in game week 26. The only thing that's going to happen is if they win their FA Cup tie, their game week 28 fixture will move to 27. So they'll play Stoke at home and Sunderland away. JC, I'm confused. Do we take out Ibra after Bournemouth? No, you'd have to take him out instead of letting him play against Bournemouth. So the week Ibra plays Bournemouth at home is the same week that potentially this City double game week is in. So if you can afford to have both, then great. But I think Lukaku is in most of our teams. So Andy, are you planning on taking a hit for sure? Absolutely. I'll be taking a hit this week. I'll be taking a hit to get Man City players. How many I take, I don't know yet. But I'm all in for double game weeks. Andy, what are your thoughts on the following transfers? Assuming City lose. I wouldn't start thinking about transfers assuming they're going to lose in a fixture they're almost certainly going to win. But it looks, yeah, they look good to me. So Sanchez to Mane in game week 26, and then Stanislas and Ali to Sterling and Sigurdsson. You probably want Sterling in either way. So that's interesting. So you don't think Aguero in 2 games will outscore Ibra against Bournemouth? I don't know. That's a risky call, I think. But honestly, I'll be gutted if Ibra goes mad, because obviously I've had him so much this season already. Lukaku out in game week 27. That's an interesting one because they play Spurs away, don't they? Yeah, so I wonder if I can work that actually. Let's have a look. So it probably means I don't have to. It probably means I can't get Coleman. Yeah, almost. Oh no, hang on. So let's say I've got Ibra still. Bring in Sterling. Oh, so close to being able to afford it. That's an interesting one. So just for 1 week I take out Lukaku and then I get him back in. But how much money have I made on him? That's the other problem. $0.3 million, so 0.1, yeah. It's gone up 0.3, so I'd lose a bit of money. That is an option though. I have to do that in my head, like I'm trying to work it out while we're streaming, and it's almost giving me a headache. But yeah, I'd have to do Amat and Sanchez to Mane and Funes Mori, keep Ibra, and then do Lukaku and Mkhitaryan. Yeah, I like that. So then I get to keep Ibra, and the following week I just reverse the Lukaku to Aguero. Then I get to keep Ibra, which I'm always happy to do. So that's a nice option, mister. I like that. Hardest choices, who would you captain? Zlatan or Sterling times 2? 100% I will captain a Man City player in Gameweek 27. Not a chance I'll go for some single Gameweek player. So people will always say, every year they will say, yes, but there's a chance this guy in one Gameweek outscores the double. They always say that, and it very rarely happens. I think there was maybe a couple of years ago when Kane burst on the scene. He was only 6 million. He had a double game week. Aguero had a single game week against Leicester, and Kane beat him. You've got to bet on the doubles. You've got to bet on 2 matches, I think. I've said a few times now, I've started to play a bit more sensibly, like in terms of my decisions and captain decisions. But double game weeks, get in there. Have a bit of fun. Is Mane worth 1.1 million more than Coutinho? That's debatable. I think Mane is the best option, and because I'm getting rid of Sanchez, I want to get Mane because I've got the money. So I think Mane is, disregarding price, Mane is better than Coutinho, and because I can afford it, I will go for him. The only thing we're not considering, and I'm kind of talking about my own team, is that I won't have a very good way to get Sanchez back, which is a problem, I don't think. But I guess I can cross that bridge later. I mean, I think I can almost tell myself that I don't need him for West Brom and Man City. It's really 31 that I want him in. And who knows what will happen in between. I think I just have to get rid of him, and if I need to spend a bit of money, then that's what I'll do. So have a look at this. So I was going to go through it, just go around and around in my head. So Funes Mori, Mane, Man City, Apples. So Sterling and Aguero. Yeah, so only leaves me with 0.8 in the bank, so I'm going to have a hard time getting Sanchez in. But I think, I suppose Aguero would go back to Lukaku, wouldn't he? So I've got to remember that as well. Let's have a look. That's if Lukaku's even fit. We'll have to see. But he'll be 9.9, so I'll have 0.2 million less. I'll have 3.6. So yeah, I can actually get him back in. Okay. That ain't so bad. We're all good. Trying to do maths live on air. Not good for my brain. All comes down to which City player is nailed for 2 games. I think the trouble you're going to have with City is, if you bring in Aguero, let's say for this scenario we all bring in Aguero, there's no way you won't captain him, I don't think. Yes, you'll have that thought that he could get rotated. Maybe Iheanacho comes in, and it's less likely that Sterling gets rotated. But who do you think's got the potential to score the biggest haul? Plus, for some of us as well, not triple. I suppose we captained him, but not triple captain Aguero last year was a bit of a killer. Why don't you get Sané instead of Sterling? Means you can afford Coleman instead of Funes Mori, does it? Okay, I'll have to check that out. I don't know though, I think Sterling's the one in midfield. Yeah, so Anurag, you're right. City's games get very tough, well, at least the amount of games they have to play gets tough, but I think we have to look at the Huddersfield lineup for that game and see how many players City rest, because you'd think they'll play the best players in the Premier League and Champions League, I'd say. Iheanacho isn't in the Champions League squad, so expecting to play some part in other competitions. Yeah, possibly. But then, like I said, they got the cup, so maybe he plays there. I don't know. I know Pep put out a pretty strong team against Huddersfield originally. He's not going to want to lose that game, especially at home. But it's a much better fixture for them at home. You think they could put out, you know, a few different players, like they kind of rotate a bit, and they'd still be good. No Sané, no Partey. I know. I'm a fan of his. Let's have a look. He's started most games now, hasn't he? I mean, Nolito is. Because I saw a tweet about him the other day. I even remembered he was at Man City. Yeah, played the last 4 games. I'll have to compare their stats as well. No injuries to anyone for a while has made things harder. I like that though, honestly. I think, and I probably said earlier in the season that I was missing the template, but sometimes an injury just makes things boring. It was like when I gambled on No Aguero and then he got injured, or sorry, got suspended. It just made it so easy for everyone else to then make the transfers that I'd made. Or when Coutinho got injured, I think that was a week when I think Sigurdsson had been an option, but in the current kind of template that was going on, it wasn't a really good way to get him in, and Coutinho got injured. It just made it a really easy transfer. I think that enabled people to get, I think it was Kane or something. Can't remember. How's it going, Exotic Farmer? You've missed, so I did like at the start of the show, I did more of like a video theme, but did it live, just going through the blanks for Gameweek 28 and 26 and the players you should consider. And since then, we've pretty much been chatting about Man City and Man City only. Whether we should triple captain in Aguero. Whether you should ditch Ibra. Actually, let me check on. Yeah, if Jesus was around, it'd be even harder, I think. So far, let me have a look. So we've had 17 responses to will you ditch Ibra in Game Week 27 if City have a double, and 64% of people have said yes. And then for the other one, it's triple captain Aguero in 27 if it's a double game week. Again, 17 responses, 58% of people said yes, so it's quite close. Oh, what if Aguero gets his 3rd red card of the season? Yeah, but what if he scores a hat-trick in both games? Like, do you know what I mean? What happens if Ibra decides to kung fu kick someone, Cantona style, against Bournemouth? Be a nightmare. So if I get Sterling and Aguero, how many players for 28? I'm going to have to keep this team up, aren't I? Just get multiple windows with different scenarios. Mane. So I'd have Heaton, Funes Mori, Brandt, Mawson, and Holebas would probably be swapped to, like, I don't know, Maguire or something. We'll have to see. So that's 5. 6, 7, 8 Mane, and then Aguero will become Lukaku, so that's 9. That's actually 9 with a hit, so the most I'm going to field is 10, I'd say. I don't know if I'm completely happy with that, but yeah, I'll have to have a good think about it. I think I've worked that out right. I don't know, 8-point hit to field 10. Could be worth it. Depends who they are, I suppose. And Peter Crouch, yeah. Yeah, I like what Ben's saying there. Just take a step back. Realise it's Sergio Aguero, Stoke at home and Sunderland away. You don't get much better than that. Triple Captain Crouch. That's a bit too far, I think. I'd love it if he scored in both games. That would be so good. Yeah, I think you definitely captain Aguero. Whether you triple captain him or not, we'll have to see. Yeah, but will be interesting what Villaronca does because he doesn't tend to. Well, he doesn't take hits. Yeah, owning Aguero and Ibra in 27 does make it a bit more. It basically means I have to take another hit. I don't know if that's worth it. Do we know any more now than we did in the live stream, last live stream? We know that Man City could potentially have a double game week, which is essentially why I did this video. I was going to do, I was going to make a video on blanks and double game weeks anyway. Now we've had like a lot of stuff confirmed from the FA Cup. But I just decided to do it live because I knew people would want to discuss this because obviously it was such big news. Any Stoke mids worth getting? I guess there's Arnautovic maybe. I don't know if any of the someone in chat will probably tell me different, but I don't think many of the Stoke midfielders have really been doing much. Yeah, Peters is a decent option in defence. Aguero is a centre midfielder. Surely even Pep doesn't want that. Oh yeah, Joe Allen of course, but I think he scored in the last like maybe 3 or 4 game weeks, but not one you really want. Plan on playing Crouch for double game week 27? Of course. If you've got a double game week player, you play them. Simple as that. Who would I bench though, actually? That's a good point. Probably... Actually, that gets really tough, doesn't it? I'd have to bench one of these. So Phillips against Palace. Or Sigurdsson against... I mean, it's not going to be Sigurdsson. Against Burnley, definitely not. Ali against Everton? That would be risky. See, I might have to bench Phillips in one of his only like 2 remaining good games. If I keep Ibra. But even if I don't keep Ibra, I'll have Lukaku. So yeah, that's a good point actually, I didn't think of that. How's it going, George? Chance of more games being rearranged? I don't think so because Man United are playing in Europa League, so I don't think that can be rearranged there. Yeah, all out attack would be nice. The amount we kind of kind of have a go or moan about that chip is quite interesting in the last few weeks how many times I wish I'd had it. Heaton to a City keeper and then hope Pickford plays. Yeah, maybe. Don't think I'm too bothered about that really. I don't want to take hits for the sake of it. Do I know who takes the set piece for Stoke? Let me just double check. Double check. I guess Charlie Adam, maybe. Yeah, Charlie Adam, Shaqiri and Arnautovic for free kicks. Then corners, Alan, Shaqiri and Adam, I think. But probably mainly Adam. Do you want to bring in Charlie Adam? I would probably not look at that, to be honest. How much is he? So look, 4.7. Wow, could be your new 5th midfielder bench fodder. Nailed on by the looks of it. A couple of assists earlier in the season. Yeah, I don't know about that one for me. Yeah, everyone in the chat is agreeing. Charlie Adam on set pieces for Stoke, but I don't know. I mean, I like double game weeks, but bringing in Charlie Adam is maybe a step too far. Now, if it was like 5 seasons ago and it was Charlie Adam double game week, well, he's playing for Blackpool and he was guaranteed 3 bonus points no matter what the result of the game was, then I'd be all in for him, as he has penalties as well. 4.7 million is too much, that's fair enough. Definitely won't disagree with you there. You're warming to the captain idea. How can you not? Like, who else was your captain? Sterling, I suppose. Oh, Sanchez is on minus 92%. I might have to make my Mane transfer then. I think that's happening regardless, so I might just do it tonight. I don't want to... Oh, actually, will I lose money on Sanchez? Ah, balls. I need to... Oh, I'm going to have to make all these transfers again in a minute when I forget what's happened. 11.5. Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of him tonight if I don't want to lose money, which I pretty much don't want to. That's interesting though, cheers for letting me know that. Sanchez to Mane safe tonight. I think it's fairly safe. Liverpool haven't got European game. Mane gets injured in training, that would be super unlucky. Annoying, but unlucky. Any chance United get a double game with like City? I think it's very unlikely because of that Europa League game, basically. It's likely that's going to be later in the season. When am I planning these transfers? So, Mane in for Sanchez will probably be tonight. I'll then sleep on my second transfer. It'll probably be Funes Mori, and if that lets me get Aguero in for Lukaku. But I have to decide if I think that's worth it. But obviously that can all be done next week anyway, so it's just if I get Coleman in, I kind of put myself in a annoying position for next week. But yeah, probably do Funes Mori later on. Yeah, there was a double game week in Game Week 1 once. It was Chelsea, because they were in like the World Club Cup or something like that. I think it was a pretty good double game week as well. Yeah, I'll be doing Sanchez to Mane tonight, probably before the stream ends if he's going to drop in price. Yeah, that's a good point. So how am I thinking of getting rid of City assets given Liverpool and Arsenal post the double game week? You're already stuck with West Brom players you don't want. So I will probably just keep the the Man City players for Liverpool at home. I don't think that's the worst fixture for them. And then look to get rid, I suppose. Yeah, it's a tough one because I'm the same really. I've got Ali I need to get rid of. Ali probably needs to go soon as well. I can't resist the double game weeks. Simple as that. Oh, Kolarov. In years gone by, Kolarov would almost have been ahead of Aguero in our double game week teams. Let's have a look at him. I don't even know how many he started recently. Yeah, he doesn't miss many games, to be honest. Apparently he's got a knock at the moment. He's 5.8 million. He's playing the centre back. I don't know. I think Kolarov's now the forgotten man, I'm afraid. He's due 5.8 million though. I don't think so. I don't think he fits in very well with other plans. You're considering a wildcard post Game Week 28 to figure a team for the end run. Does that make sense? It does. I know some people have considered it in Game Week 29 to kind of reset their teams after 28. Yeah, that's a tough one because we'll obviously know most of the big players that are going to be in doubles, so we're going to want our Sanchez's in, Ibra in, etc. I don't know if it's worth doing it that early though. Another thing to remember with these is obviously everyone's in the same boat. it's not just you that's having to go through all this. There's lots of other players with these players that they're now going to have to think about getting in and out. And casuals won't have a clue. Well, some of them might. Also, I hate the word casual, so... The tune on now is my favourite. I know this playlist is probably a bit repetitive. I mean, I can only just about hear it in my ears. It's just not a struggle, but it's hard to find like playlists of music that you can play on stream without getting the video taken down, which obviously I don't want. Am I missing something? Do City have a double gaming in 27? So we are basically speculating. Well, not speculating. If they beat Huddersfield in the FA Cup before Gameweek 27, they will have a double in 27. Their Stoke fixture will get moved, basically, to Gameweek 27. So we're just assuming that they will win that game and planning accordingly. When does money drop on players? It's like 1 AM, like 1:12 AM, something like that. And it can happen any night. It depends. Depends how many people have got rid, etc. Oh yes, by the way, if you haven't already, don't forget to give the stream a thumbs up. We actually hit over 100 likes on the last live stream, I think. Let me just double check that. Oh, the 95, so very close. But yeah, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Because we're actually on... We're over 700 now. I know we were trying to hit 700 last time. We're on 723. So it's decent. Loving all of y'all. Aguero got a brace in the Champions League. Exactly. I mean, in some ways, maybe we should... It would have actually been probably more interesting if he hadn't got that brace. Let's say he'd struggled against Monaco and City struggled. Then it'd be a different question. Is it every Wednesday? Oh no, players can drop every night. It just depends how many transfers out they have. So if you go to... Let me quickly show you why you're asking. So if you go to something like fplstatistics.co.uk, you'll basically see what you want to look at is this target percentage. So these aren't 100% accurate, but they're pretty good. So for whatever reason, Gabbiadini, who is blanking this week, is going to rise tonight. He's very close to 100. Sigurdsson probably will as well, Alonso, etc. And then if you click on target twice, oh no, once, sorry, it shows you the minus number. And again, if they're above about 80%, then you should start worrying about them dropping in price. Price drops are not as accurate as price rises, but if money is tight, once a player gets to about 80% drop, then I look to get rid. So Sanchez, you can search for, is on minus 92.4, so he's very likely to drop tonight. Hope that helps. 750 on next. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, the next big milestone is to be 1,000 subs. That'd be awesome. Kind of wish I could have done a video as well as stream this week, but I'm just not going to have time. But next week I'll probably go back to the looking ahead, like normal news, etc. And plus we'll have Man City probably to discuss a bit more. Am I streaming Sunday? I don't see why not. I may even... Because tonight was supposed, like right now when I'm doing this, I was supposed to be making the video. So that's kind of just the time I'm using. So I might even stream on Friday as well, I'll see. But yeah, Sunday, I don't see why not. In fact, are all the games finished by Sunday? Ah, no, I got Liverpool on Monday. It's always a bit annoying. I don't like it when there's another game to come, but we'll see. When's the 1st of March? Hang on. So City are playing next Wednesday. So maybe that would be another good day to do it instead of doing a video. Do it next Wednesday. Instead of Sunday, maybe? Because then City would have finished in the FA Cup. All the games will be over. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Can I stream while Liverpool are playing Leicester? I could, but I won't, because most people will just watch that instead, which is fair enough. Like, I'd like to watch that game too, because I'm going to have Mane in it. And also, we're not really going to have any extra info while that's going that we won't have on Sunday, so I probably won't. Plus, it'll probably be Scoutcast on Tuesday, so. Wednesday is the 28th. Have I misread? Hang on. No, Tuesday's the 28th. First of March is Wednesday. Aguero for Costa or Lukaku is double game week. Costa. Well, this is the thing. Like, ideally, you'd want to keep Costa and get rid of Lukaku because it spurs away for Lukaku. But Lukaku then plays the next game, so it has to be Costa, I think. Thoughts on Sane? I really like Sane. I just don't know if he's a better option than Sterling. If I had kind of unlimited transfer, I didn't have to worry about blanks and stuff, I'd definitely like to have Sterling and Sane. But a bit like Liverpool, I'm going to have to just make a decision. It will probably be Sterling. Oh yeah, imagine if you did get rid of Aguero last week. That you just can't predict that, can you? I don't think anyone was really thinking this was likely to happen. But it happens. Don't get too caught up on it, I suppose. What about Firmino for next week? So I like Firmino. And literally before this Man City news, I was looking to get in Mane and Firmino. I would have done that this week, 100%. But I just can't now. I think it has to be Sterling in Gameweek 27. And I think Mane is better than Firmino. The thing is, that Liverpool team could go on a bit of a run now, maybe, start scoring goals again. I don't think they haven't really had too many spells of like being awful or anything, so I'm not too worried about Liverpool. So it could be a case of just make your pick and then eventually they'll get points. Yeah, it's very rare that they only score like one goal in a game. So it's almost like double game weeks, buy a lottery ticket and get involved. Sterling will be the main man for double game weeks 27. I mean, again, this might be just the way I'm remembering double game weeks, but usually there's a player that perhaps no one's really thought of, or they're a bit of a differential, and they're the one that does really well. Like I remember, Asu Okato for Spurs, left back, getting like 24 points over a double game week, something like that. Anyway, but obviously he's not the one you're going to be captain. It's the same with Sterling. He could be the one that outscores Aguero, but I think you're going to put your captaincy on Aguero. If money is no issue, who are your top three Man City picks? I think it would actually be Aguero, Sané and Sterling. I know De Bruyne will be a popular pick, but I do wonder if a lot of that is because of how much he costs. If you watch Man City, he comes so deep now. He always seems to be picking the ball up from defenders rather than kind of being up the pitch. I really think it would be that attacking three. Sterling, Sané and Aguero for me. I know Silva's an option, but I never feel like he's going to get a haul. You know, it's not like Sané has been getting double-figure hauls every week, but yeah, I mean, people are saying in the chat, Yaya, Silva, De Bruyne, they're always options. Tories on pens, obviously, but yeah, for me, Sané, Sterling, Aguero, I think. Asu Okato, what a hero he was. Yeah, that was so good. It's like even I remember last year even there was like was it Crystal Palace, and there was like players like Delaney, and Crystal Palace were doing awful. But I thought, no, sod it. I've got these spare transfers where I've got a wild card. I think it was on the wild card, and I was like, I'm bringing them in. He got a double game week, and I think he got 2 clean sheets or something like that. And there's like 12 plus points. I just, like I said earlier, I think you get these players in. If they blank, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. You try them double game. If you don't get them in, just because you think the double game week's not worth it, and they explode or do really well, then double game weeks can really hurt you if you don't get on the players. Like your rank can take a big hit, and like, I don't want to like scaremonger people into having to bring these double game week players in, but the bigger ceiling is by getting them in, not by not getting them in, like not by going against the grain. Obviously, there's always players that don't work out. It happens, but that's just my personal opinion. I like to be in for them, for sure. All 42 likes, 42 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Where is... oh yeah. Yeah, Barkley, not great. This season, he's looking quite good though. You're getting rid of De Bruyne for that exact reason. But if you own him, would you not be tempted to keep him rather than spend an extra... for someone that now you're potentially going to have a doubling game with 27? You're planning Benteke to Aguero. That is some upgrade. It'd be nice to get... I always describe Aguero as our Argentinian comfort blanket. So it'd be nice to have him back, to be honest. So Sunderland won't have a double game week. That's just their normal game that week. But Stoke will have a double game week, yeah. How are you still stuck with Benteke? Yeah, that is a good question. Although sometimes you get lumbered with a player and like there's potentially like a different transfer to make, or you just always like, well, I just keep him for one more game. It happens. Same happened with me with Ibra. I just got lucky that kind of turned the corner. How's it going, Espen? Sanchez to Markovic, Barnes to Aguero. See, Barnes doesn't blank, and his stats are actually really good. Obviously, I'd rather have Aguero, but I don't know about Markovic. What do you guys in the chat think? Because I don't know a lot about him really. I know he was at Liverpool. I know people have said he looks quite good, but I like Hull's fixtures actually. They've got out of kind of the 8 teams that don't blank, their fixture schedule is probably the best. I think they got Burnley at home, Leicester away, and Leicester are awful right now. Swansea at home, then Everton away, not great, and then West Ham at home and Middlesbrough at home. So I really like Hull's fixtures. If I could wild card now, I'd definitely get a defender in. I don't know about Markovic though. I think one City player like Aguero is best for 27. Yeah, I know, but think of the damage they could do in 2 games. Blank Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Yeah, it's not ideal. Bit like Adama Traore. Yeah, I don't know. I've only seen him play a couple of times. Seems like he's got potentially... oh, sorry, a bit of potential, but there's a lot of running. Interesting, the comments on Scoutcast last night about Phillips' rotation. Yeah, I'm a bit worried, but kind of in the situation, especially with this with this potential Man City double game now, that I've got to keep him, like, and hope that he keeps his place. I mean, there's no like evidence. Well, not evidence, sorry, but there's nothing to say that he won't just play these 2 games. I'm just kind of speculating because of his form and Evans coming back into the side, but you know, I know Pulis likes like Morrison, etc., and Brunt, so it's unlikely that Brunt's going to be out of the team, but I think he likes Phillips quite a lot too, so be interested to see who drops out though. How's it going, Kian? Good to see you. What is the real downside of wildcard in 29? I mean, the thing is, like, anything can change, I suppose, injury-wise, etc. So if you wildcard that early and then you do get the big hitters in, and then for whatever reason they miss out, then yes, you'll have transfers to change that, but your transfers will always be fixated on the doubles. Like our transfers have been fixated on the blanks, whereas if you don't do that, you kind of make transfers to get in the players for those fixtures that are good, which might not be the big hitters, although obviously players like Sanchez and Ibra will probably want on our teams anyway. And then you wildcard in every player you want in one go. So, I don't know. I think the wildcard 29 might become a bit popular now because of Man City. If they win. Andy, a quick suggestion for your channel. You should open a funding page for people to donate money to you. How many millions are we talking, Anish? How many millions do you want to send over to me? Really leaning towards the Gameweek 29 wildcard. It's going to be messy for all of us, to be honest. Yeah, Kean, no, you're right. Rotation for Man City is potentially there, of course. But a Premier League game is a sandwich between the cup games, so hopefully it'll be good. Coleman transfer off. The Coleman transfer is now annoying me because I hate having to make a decision for this game week when I don't know what I'm doing next. So obviously if I keep Lukaku and do Ibra to Aguero, I can just get Coleman. But I don't want to have to make that decision this week. But Funes Mori 4.7. 4.7 is kind of nice as in structure-wise for defence as well. So when he does play Spurs well, I won't feel so bad about benching, for example. How long am I planning to stream tonight? Probably until 11 at the max. A lot of it just depends on how many questions are coming in, really. But I do have work tomorrow, so 11 is probably the latest I can go. Ibra versus Bournemouth is too good to lose. I know, but the other thing to remember is, so there's always other things to consider. So, is Ibra against Bournemouth better than... How much better is Ibra versus Bournemouth than Lukaku versus Spurs? Bearing in mind it will also cost me an extra hit to do that, and it means I'll have to get Funes Mori instead of Coleman. When you weigh all that up, then suddenly Ibra doesn't look quite as good. But obviously if Coleman gets no attacking returns and he just gets clean sheets like Funes Mori, then obviously that 1.2 million is wasted. So it's a tough one. That's why I don't want to make the decision this week. We've not really had any news on the Lukaku injury. I think they basically said he should be fine, but until we have a press conference tomorrow or Friday. I think Everton usually do theirs on Thursdays, so then we'll find out. How poor are Burnley defensively away from it? I've not checked the stats, but they only kept one clean sheet, and that was against Man United. And Heaton just had such a good game that game. Should have won that. I personally would rather have Jakupovic, but it's just tough with all the transfers I want to make. Lukaku and Kane to Zlatan and Kun. See, in that I would just do Kane to Aguero and keep Lukaku, I think. I wouldn't bring Ibra in. Lukaku out for a month with throwing over spam the worst. That would be a nightmare because I think him and Sigurdsson are probably the two key, or have been, and they're going to be the two key players over this these blank fixtures. Crouch may get rotated for Berahino. Yes, that's possible, but and yes, it would be. It's a shame that the double's not this week for when it comes to Stoke, because I don't think. Let me just check. That Berahino has started yet, has he? And I think Mark Hughes was saying that he still needs time to get match fit. So I think Crouch is going to start the next game. The problem is in the double, does he then both start both games? Don't know. Well, I think I have to play him. Wonder what Mark is doing. Yeah, it's a shame the Scoutcast wasn't tonight, really. So you could have heard all their opinions as well. Oh, Nish, you never got back to me about the millions. Which City mid do I prefer? Yeah, I think Sterling. There's something very pleasing about 4-4-2. Yeah, I like 4-4-2. I also like 4-5-1 actually. I think it looks good. I think it looks better though because don't usually get to play it. Nice 4-4-2, yeah, that's nice. Not sure I'm going to make my transfers based on based on how good the formation looks though. Tell you what I need for this stream actually, some new graphics around the edge. I hate the bit at the top, it just looks too small. I never really know what to put in the middle other than my team and the browser really. Yeah, my transfer tonight will be Sanchez to Mane. I know, Niche, I'm only messing. I'm obviously not expecting millions. No need for donations. Yeah, so I've actually already been on to Jimmy to do me, sort me out of a new banner maybe. I'm working on that as well. Don't like the one I've got now, I got that knocked up cheap. And what I need someone to design, what I need is one of these guys in the stream who are like logo designers or something. I have some ideas, but I need someone to do it for me. There's only so much Photoshop I can do. Points per match for City players. Okay, I'm gonna guess before I look at this, the Sané is very high. So I know you're pushing Sané on me. Let's have a look. He's probably miles ahead now, isn't he? Does Mkhitaryan out make Zlatan less attractive? I don't think so, no, because I think Mata will step in. So who have we been playing? We've been playing... Has Matt been starting? I can't remember now, I'll have to check. I don't think so. It's been Martial, Mkhitaryan, sometimes been starting on the right. Rather than down the middle. Let's have a look actually. I think Matt has been out of the team, hasn't he? Oh no, he started the last two. Okay. See, now he's probably more nailed on now. That's interesting. I don't think it makes Zlatan less attractive though. What points return would I be happy with if I captain Aguero? I'd want... I suppose I have to look at... what... I mean, 15 at least would be nice because someone like that can get in... someone like that... Sorry, that point score you can kind of get in a single game week. A goal and a bonus, 3 bonus in each game would be 18 overall. So yeah, at least a goal every game, both games, and some bonus, I think. Right, what was I doing? Man City points per match. De Bruyne, 5.1. Look at this, Sterling. And this is interesting because at the start of the season I went for Sterling instead of De Bruyne. I did wonder if he could keep it up all season. He has been. Gundogan, 4.1. Sané only 3.4. Poor. Poor. John Stones, 2.2. It's awful. And Aguero, 4.9. That's not even that good, really. Maybe Sterling is the one to triple captain. So I'm telling you, there's a brave man that does that. Oh, I definitely forgot to turn the mic back on then after I was coughing. But yes, we definitely need Aguero to play both. Salah has Stones. Yeah, I bet he does. Was Aguero not lucky to be sent off? I didn't actually see that. I know he dived, didn't he? Was that an actual dive in the end? Because people seemed a bit 50-50. I did watch the game. I was... obviously I had the scout cast, so I had to prep for that and get everything else done in the evening. So I didn't get to see the Champions League game. It's so annoying. Such a good one. It's really bad that no one likes Pogba. I mean, yeah, from an FPL point of view, Pogba's no go really now. But I love Pogba watching him play. Like forgetting about FPL, I love Pogba. I know 90 million, etc., etc., but I think he's going to come good. I think he's playing really well. He's just not playing to a 90 million standard, which I think everyone everyone expects from him, and it's kind of not his fault, really, I suppose. Can we get a Scoutcast next week on a Wednesday? I don't have control over that, really. It depends on when people can do. I expect it'll be Tuesday. But you never know. I mean, the thing with the Scoutcast is, even if it's done on a Tuesday, I'm sure we will answer questions about Man City, because we have to think that Man City will win that game. So we have to prepare. It's kind of what I'm doing tonight. I'm now considering transfers this week based on next week. You always expect to score more goals than Gareth Cooley. But Paul Pogba just hasn't bribed Opta enough. Am I keeping Ali after the Rose news? Yes, but because it's a bit like having to keep Phillips. I just don't have better transfers to do. I've got better transfers to do than get rid of him. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I think Pogba has hit the bar and the post quite a bit this season. Last time, I don't know how many times he's hit in comparison to other players in previous seasons, but I remember Suarez's first or second season. No, he was only at Liverpool for 2 seasons, I think. I don't know, I might have that wrong, but the season before he went absolutely mad in the Premier League, he kept hitting the post and the bar. Then next year he went mental, so maybe next year is Pogba's year for fantasy football. Very important to note that Huddersfield are not a pushover. I know, but they're away from home. Man City are at home. Like, you'd expect Man City to win most games at home, let alone against one in the Championship. Yeah, who is everyone captaining this week, actually? I mean, I'm on Lukaku. I'm kind of on him by default. I don't have Costa or Kane. I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to kind of push players like Kane up in the rankings because you don't own them, so you think they're going to punish you. But I think Kane is possibly the best option this week, followed by Lukaku and then Costa. But again, anyone who watches Skycast will know I'm a bit biased against Costa, so make of those comments what you will. Oh, so anyone doesn't know, Cy Pry in the chat. He's one of my mates. He's in one of my mini leagues. So if he's captaining Costa, I'm captaining Lukaku. That'd be another big win for me. Who's Felix captaining? Top of the Let's Talk FPL league. He's captaining Lukaku as well, so that's ground I'm not going to make up. I will be top of that league by the end of the season, though. No doubts about it, lads. Yeah, quite a few Lukakus. I expect for a lot of people they're actually in a similar situation to me where they've got Ibra and Lukaku and it's kind of made for you. I've seen some teams with Lukaku, Costa and Kane. Obviously that's really nice for this week. But they're having a bit of a headache with captaincy. Sometimes I like not having the headache. Yeah, league entry's still open. It will remain open. It's in the description below the chat. Oh yeah, Torres Magic was saying my team link doesn't work. Seems to work for me. Maybe you're playing mind games. Well, maybe I'm playing mind games with you. Cohen Costa. Yeah, it could be a good option. Sorry, typing, I know it's annoying. Yeah, Costa does have a really good record against Swansea. I mean, I said this on Skycast, I said it on the last stream. I just don't ever feel scared by him that he's going to absolutely punish me, so not that bothered. Is there any way to leave a public league that you accidentally joined? Yes. You have to click, I think you have to go on options and then leave league. Triple Man City, depends who you're getting in, but I actually have, if you can afford the transfers, I love that, to be honest. I wish I could have 3 myself. If City ends 1-0, it'll go to penalties, I'd assume. Maybe even extra time if they got rid of that now for replays. They might have done. Might just go straight to penalties. Someone will know in the chat. Chat likes to correct me. Colour of Sané Aguero. There's no. You're not actually getting them, are you, Matt? What did I ask? Don't think I asked anything. Oh, I said if the replay Man City Huddersfield is a draw, will it just go straight to penalties or is there extra time? Okay, yeah, Sané and Aguero is fine. How's it going, Niche? Tuning in from Canada, that's cool. Must be getting later in the evening there now. Yeah, something in my head tells me it's straight to penalties now. Obviously, the thing people want to do is abolish replays altogether. I guess maybe getting rid of extra time was a compromise. Baines to Stones for the double game week only. I don't like saying no to bringing in double game week players, but getting rid of Baines, I'm just not sure about that. You got 2 free transfers. No, I've only got 1. Oh, there is extra time. Kind of sucks, really, for Man City. Would I keep both Ali and Kane still this week with Rose out? I'd definitely keep Kane. I'd probably keep Ali too. It depends on the rest of your team, to be honest. But like, for me, there's no use getting rid of Ali when I have like Sanchez and Mkhitaryan to get rid of. Yeah, you're right, Felix. I don't think we're going to have to be worrying about extra time. Surely Man City will just do the business inside 90 minutes. If not inside the first half, maybe. Need to check out Sterling versus Sané stats for this week. Oh yeah, the weekend coming, yeah. For sure. Just do... Oh, everyone loves seeing transfers on the stream. Don't know why. I find that interesting. Oh, it's got to be Sterling. Look at the stats. Okay, I'm going to do Sanchez to Mane. Don't see any point in waiting on it. Here we go. There's no suspense though. Remember when... Oh, yeah, I've got to get rid of one apparently. Actually, it's Mkhitaryan. Okay, he's going down a bit slower. It'd be annoying if he goes down a price after I just got my 0.1 million back. Don't do it. Why should I not do it, Felix? What, Sanchez to Mane? A niche. No, I don't use who scored for stats generally. Like I have done for a few videos, but usually I use Fantasy Football Scout. This isn't an ad or anything, but if you've ever used different websites for stats and you use theirs, like being able to order the stats how you want them is super handy. Okay, this is it. Oh, niche instead of niche. Okay, my bad. Okay, sorry. Sanchez to Mane. Dun dun dun. Mane is injured. You guys are the worst. Seriously. It's just funny, like, we had 100 odd people watching earlier, and it's been around the 90 for a while, and it went down to like 85 or so, and maybe people are just shooting over this transfer. It's gone back up to 100. Just all waiting for me to click that button. Bird. Okay, so this is what's happened to Mane in the last like 30 seconds. So Ben's heard he's injured. Felix, Mane has just broke his leg. Alex, he's had a training injury. Calazzo says he might get smashed in training. Balesaru, bird flu, I heard. Dodgy chicken. Mr. Mane caught eating a pie in training, kicked out of Liverpool. Mane to China. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Boom. There we go. See how nice my team looks now. Oh, yeah. Should probably... Oh, actually, you'd still play if I put him there. So it's got to be Amat. This is the thing, though. This is why I want to bring in Coleman or Funes Mori. I don't want to play Mawson, really. Mane is just retired. Oh, shit. There you go. Look at that. It looks nice, that. It's funny, actually, Johnny said in the Scoutcast, like I was thinking as well, that I just haven't owned Mane this season. I had Firmino and Coutinho double up early in the season, and obviously I was happy with that. They did well. Even when Mane scored, those two were in the points generally as well. But it's nice to own him. Like, he's a player I like. Yeah, I love the chat in this stream. I mean, that's why I do the streams, really. Like, if you guys weren't chatting, I would have turned it off a long time ago. Yeah, exactly. Needed a bit of a full-on red kit. How many points do I have overall? More than I had last week. So 1,366 up to 76k. I hope all this like blank and Aguero captain doesn't ruin that, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I'm definitely happy to have. I mean, I used to when I first started playing FPL, I was a bit of a different player, I suppose. Oh, I didn't even confirm him. Like, I'd always do my transfers early. I'd always be on bandwagons and stuff. So yeah, I usually do my transfers early, but these days I like to wait for as much information. But it's always nice to make the transfer and just see him in your team. It's almost like just a psychological thing. How's it going, TM? TM's just been messaging me on Skype. Trying to get secret info from me. Why do I have to put Amat as first choice sub? It doesn't matter, those two aren't playing, so you'll come on anyway. Don't panic. What did you miss? Not a lot, I've just been chatting about Alfie Mawson for the last hour and a half. And we're not going for my standard non-starters ploy. Do you know, I used to play them to annoy people in mini leagues. But now more people are looking at my team because obviously the streams and stuff. They just get really annoyed about it, some people, and I just can't bother to listen to the tweets basically about it. So I tend not to do it, but I might do this week. So next week will probably be Mkhitaryan to Sterling, and I'm probably going to do Amat. Well, no, I will do Amat to an Everton defender this week, I think, and I'll bench Mawson. And then next week, yeah, it'll be Mkhitaryan to Sterling, and Aguero will come in for Ibra or Lukaku, I think. Oh yeah, vice captain. No, Chris Brunt, vice captain. No, it should probably be Mane, actually. You're right. Let me change that before I forget. Because I won't look at that again because I made Lukaku captain. Why did they get annoyed about that? I don't know. When I first started doing it, like, so this is what I'm talking about. So this week, for example, who's playing last? Spurs and Stoke. So I'd probably do Ibra and Crouch. Ibra and Mkhitaryan over Ali and Crouch. And then obviously they're not going to play, so these two are guaranteed to come on. But people get really annoyed about it. Cracks me up. Manny was wearing shin pads, but his leg come off. His leg was in great condition, just not attached to the rest of his body. That'd be a bit of a nightmare. You got all your bonuses still. What's that? So TM, now you're in the chat. Are you gonna get rid of Ibra and are you gonna triple captain Aguero? Used to order my players in terms of price. I always do that when I like write them out anywhere, or I tend to. I don't need to change my vice captain. It's on Mane. Oh, let's put them back before I get questioned. I might even put Amat here. How boring is that? The better FPL. I think I had that before. Yeah, I might do that at some point. Oh, I do tend to... I use Chrome when I'm not on stream, but yeah, TM's right. I use Firefox for streaming. So I don't have everything like bookmarks and all stuff you can see, which is just boring, to be honest. Don't forget, especially for people like TM who have only just arrived, hit the thumbs up button. That'll be very much appreciated. Do I know why they got rid of Ultimate FPL? No, to be honest. I guess it just wasn't as popular as they wish, but don't have any information about why they got rid of it. One person disliked. That's fine. Someone always dislikes. Whoever you are, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking time out of your life to hit that dislike button. Alright, enough with the Mane rumours now. He's in the team, it's too late now. I'm not going to transfer him back out. What happened to Neighbours? I didn't watch it. Okay, you have Rondon, Ibra, and it's actually like in answering this question. I feel like all we've done is is just chat about Man City for an hour and 20 minutes. You have Rondon, Ibra, and Kane. What would you do over the next couple of weeks? Is Mane or Lukaku more necessary? I think Lukaku. I want to say, especially if it means you're getting rid of Rondon, but you're probably not with Ibra and Kane. It depends on your whole team, really. Has Johnny or Mark watched your live stream? Possibly. I haven't asked really. I know Mark's seen some. Lukaku, Crouch, and Kane. Yeah, that's good. Bin Lukaku for Aguero. I mean, obviously, I've already said that I'm thinking about doing the same for one game week, but it's just an extra transfer I don't know if I want to make, to be honest. Where's the Gabbiadini guy? That's Thomas. Thomas? I don't know, but he's usually around. I'm looking forward to Gameweek 27 when Gabbiadini plays. If Lukaku is not past fit, what will you do? I'll probably start to panic a bit. I don't know. Depends how long he's out for. Now, that would be a really annoying one, to be honest. mean, first thought is I just play Mawson maybe instead and do the Amat move. I don't know. I really hope that doesn't happen. I could do without that. The idea of taking hits worries you. I don't know if it should worry you too much, to be honest. No Carroll game for Gameweek26 bad for Snodgrass. Yeah, potentially. I mean, he's already got an assist in his first like 2 and a bit games, and it's not ideal. But I think Snodgrass is a good price, so you can't be expecting too much from him. How much money do I have in the bank? So we'll 3.4 currently. Nice tidy amount there. Apologies, typing is annoying, I know. Andy, would you shave your beard off if Aguero scores 20 plus points in the double game week? Do you want me to live shave it off? I don't know, like I trim it usually. I don't usually shave it all off. I mean, this beard is mainly born out of laziness originally, just not being asked to shave. No, I don't look good. Look even worse without a beard. For Gameweek28, it's more about the Is it more about quantity of players or is quality? Because I'm only planning to have 8. It should always be about quality, really. I think in a double, in a double game week, it's still about quality. But I'd argue that getting in a quantity of players is good in a double. But in a blank, I think it's quality. And depending on what transfers I make, it'll be. I'll probably be looking at maybe playing only 9 or 10. So my missus is watching right now and she's just messaged me on Facebook, said you'll be shaving fucking no beard off. So there you go, there's your answer. I'll already be in too much trouble for doing this many streams, let alone shaving beards off. What percentage do you think of Sterling only playing 20 minutes or more? I think Sterling will play both. Keep the beard but shave your head. No way. Not a chance. Do you have to get permission before you take a hit? No. I'm all good for that. Nah, it'd have to be like if Aguero scores 20 plus points, that's a bit boring, right? You'd have to do it like if Crouch was going to score 20 plus points, something. Will Torres Magic feature on the Scoutcast? That's probably up to Torres Magic, to be honest. If he wanted to, I'm sure he'd be more than welcome. I don't have. Are you talking about Malik? If you're talking about Sterling, I don't have too many worries. I mean, Jesus is injured; he's going to miss game week 27. Sané will probably play as well as Sterling for the most part. Nolito's not playing right now, and Navas is a bit rubbish. She doesn't play FPL. I should get her into it, really. You should have even more reason to watch this. Get all the tips. TM does have a lot of stalkers. like you're right. Like for any Man City player, Malik, we can't say for sure that they're not going to they're not going to miss games because of so many. Sorry, they're not going to miss parts of games because of how many games there are in quick succession. But I almost think you can sometimes overthink that. Like for me, the gamble of getting the double game week players is what you should do. And if you think Sterling might miss minutes, then well, Sané can miss them too, and etc. etc. So I think you should try not to overthink that too much. But what you should overthink, I suppose, or think about is like, should you really triple captain Aguero when there is like a possibility of rotation potentially there? Should I take a -4 to get Manny and Sanchez? Craig, that depends on the current state of your team, really. Just looking at that on its own, I wouldn't be too worried about doing that for a hit, to be honest. By the way, the ultimate, I don't know if that's what TM's talking about, but the ultimate troll is to do this. If you really want to annoy people, captain a blanket, but you're really running the risk of screwing yourself over if that player misses out for whatever reason. Do you think Griezmann will join United in the summer? What does that mean? I don't know. Those rumours always come about. They drag on for a long time. Not getting my hopes up. I don't know about Rashford. I mean, there's rumours or like reports that he's being kind of made into the new number 9, etc. But yeah, I don't buy that of Rashford. I'm not sure he's good enough. Sholton, you just read 15 minutes ago, United City have double game week. I know. That's why there's still so many people watching. Yeah, I did that on my keepers for a while. Right, we're going to... I'm going to start wrapping it up soon by 11. Before you start, I probably won't go to 11, but before you start tuning out, don't forget to give the stream a thumbs up. That'd be appreciated. If you're new, then subscribe. I'm doing at least 2 streams a week at the moment, and I'm trying to fit another video in between. This week's just a bit different because I decided to stream about the blanks because we had the City game to discuss. So, yeah, thumbs up, subscribe, be really appreciated. Share with all your friends. But yeah, about 10 more minutes. So if you've got any last minute questions, let's get on them. Which teams are most likely to have a triple game week? So that would be the teams that are still in Europe, I think. So Man United and not Arsenal for long. I think Man United is probably the most possible to have a triple game week, but I don't think I've ever played a season where there's been a triple game week, so they're pretty rare. Besides a possible double game week, will City have a fixture in game week 28? So City will only have a fixture in 28 if they lose to Huddersfield. If they win, that 28 fixture will get moved to game week 27. So yeah, when is City versus Stoke? It'll either be in 28 or 27, depending on the FA Cup results. You're going to ask me about Daniels and Evans? What about them? The dislike was Mrs. Andy 85. Could have been. One of my mates has just messaged my missus saying with a hashtag support the shave. Who do you play out of Daniels and Evans? Oh, of course, because they're playing each other, aren't they? Who did I say last time? I think I said... Didn't I say Daniels? I think... I don't like not playing the home game in a game with two like weak sides like that. Or well, actually, that's a bit harsh on West Brom. Maybe even Bournemouth actually, but Daniels is more attacking. I think West Brom will concede. Oh yeah, you're already playing Brunt. I think Daniels. When's the Scoutcast? Don't know yet. There was one yesterday. For next week, it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday, I assume. I mean, that's a good point about Aguero. It's all well and good like me saying, oh, I'll just get Lukaku back in, but will I? Will I want to keep Aguero? Imagine if he does well in those two games. Do we then put him back into the category of fixture proof? Don't know. Or waking up at 5:30 to meet the 6:30 AM Canadian time deadline. Would you not just make your transfers the night before though? Nah. Oh, okay, Lukaku. That's annoying. Yeah, I must admit, I'm kind of glad to be living in a country on the same time as UK. It makes things all good for fantasy football. See you later, Andy. Thanks for tuning in again. What Lukaku news? Well, he's potentially got a knock. We think he's going to be fine, but we're just waiting for press conference news, really. Oh, can I recap my moves? Yeah, really quick. So I've already done Mane and for Sanchez. I will probably do an Everton defender in for Amat. No, I would definitely do an Everton defender in for Amat this week to make a hit. That'll be Coleman or Funes Mori, depending on what I want to do in the next couple of weeks. So in Gameweek 27, if City win, it'll be Sterling in for Mkhitaryan and Aguero in for either Ibra or Lukaku. If I do it for Lukaku, it means I have to get Funes Mori in. If I do it for Ibra, it means I can get Coleman, but not decided yet. You quit your job over the Christmas fixture pile-up. Jesus Christ. That's dedication. Yeah, keep an eye on Twitter. Like, I'm sure most of you are following me by now, but if you want to find out when I'm going to be streaming in the future, that's usually where I announce it. See you later, Felix. Cheers for tuning in. And there's no way you're still going to be ahead of me. Just saying. Damn, 70 thumbs up already. That's got to be a record. Captain Mkhitaryan and Vice Captain Lukaku. Yeah, I'd love to do that, but it's too risky. JC, just go on the Fantasy Football Scout YouTube channel. It's definitely one for yesterday. Am I doing the hokey cokey with Ibra and Sanchez? So I actually said this earlier. I kind of realised halfway through deciding those transfers that I wouldn't actually be able to get Sanchez back in that easily. So I think I'll probably convince myself that West Brom away and Man City at home is not needed for him, and maybe get him in later. But I need to give it a bit more thought because, like everyone else, I've got the news earlier and I've kind of rushed to come on here just to kind of chat with everyone in the chat. So I haven't 100% confirmed plans yet. I need to do a bit of thinking, but goddamn, it's a headache. Oh yeah, let me check what subscribers we're on. 728, nice. While I'm at work, hotel reception and my FPL team does well, I do free room upgrades to my guests. Where'd you live? Can you get me a free room? I don't want just an upgrade, I want a freebie. I can't remember, who was it that said he was going to go on a speed date? I can't remember. Yeah, 728 subs, so don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't already, keep hitting that thumbs up. We're nearly at 75. I Irish coffees at 7:30. Very nice. He blanked on the speed day. Oh yeah, poll results quickly. Good man for reminding me. 2 secs, I'll pull them up. Well, Ken? No, I don't think it was Ken. Might have been. Oh, see, so Matt's saying that he's going to be forced into benching one of Baines or Coleman in Gameweek 27. Now, if you just owned one and you had to bench him, I don't think that's the worst thing. But having to decide which one, it's annoying. Yeah, the Man City kind of fixture, it did pretty much come out of the blue. But I don't think there can be any more shocks for this week at least, so who knows in the future. Okay, guys, really quick because I'm going to be turning the stream off soon. But basically, if Man City beat Huddersfield, which will play on March the 1st, so after Game Week 26, but before Game Week 27, if they win, their fixture against Stoke, which is currently in Game Week 28, will be moved to 27, and they will play twice. And so will Stoke. If Spurs get knocked out, I don't know what will happen, to be honest. I'm waiting for news like everyone else. The Spurs double game week in 27. That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? That really would. Sorry, polls. Let me have a quick look. Always forget how I look at them. So there's been 26 responses to will you ditch Ibra in game week 27 if City have a double. So yes is 57% and no is 42%. So that's pretty close. And then for whether you'll be triple captain and Aguero. Wow, this is actually increased because earlier it was like, I think it was like 45-55. So 26 responses. No is highest actually. 65% have said no and only 34% have said yes. So, interesting. No, hang on. Spurs don't have a double game week in 27. TM is just speculating if they get knocked out, so don't panic too much. Yeah, I mean, I've got Ali, so that's nice. I'll probably look at getting Kane. $77 likes. You guys are legends. Right, I'm going to say I'm going to head off, and then it'll probably be like another 5-10 minutes till I actually hit the button. But yeah, thanks for this. I know it was a bit of a weird start, and for anyone that's kind of watched it all the way through and was looking forward to a normal video for looking ahead to, I hope this one was okay. I think we pretty much covered like the big questions that people have had, especially, I mean, Man City is now the big question on everyone's list. Everyone's kind of forgotten about whether we should get rid of Sanchez. It's now all about who do we get in from Man City. So I think it was the right decision to stream. Appreciate you all tuning in. Everyone that's hit the thumbs up button, love that. Make sure you subscribe for future notifications. And Anish, if you're still watching, I'll be waiting for those millions in my bank account tomorrow. Sorry to hear about the Manning injury. Anyway, really do appreciate you tuning in. Maybe a stream on Friday. I will let you know. As always, follow me on Twitter and we'll sort it out from there. Catch you later.